Let's talk about this week in Desperate D&D Money Grabs, where we talk about Wizards of the Coast's new splat book that'll be coming out soon. Hello and welcome. As you already know, I am an on-the-fence player and GM of D&D 5e. I'm not really a fan. I'm not really a hater. There are things I dislike, things I like, and there are aspects of Wizards when it comes to this that I really, really hate. And the new book that'll be coming out in May is a prime example of this bullshit. So let's take a look. So here we have the Dungeons & Dragons website showing Mordenkainen presents Monsters of the Multiverse. Pre-order now, available May 17th of 2022. So you look at the site, you look at this, and the first thing you think is, maybe they're going to bring in some cool new monsters from all over the multiverse and do all kinds of cool things, until you scroll down and actually read the page. So let's go ahead and look at this. Mordenkainen presents Monsters of the Multiverse, a bestiary of wondrous friends and foes for the world's greatest role-playing game. That is debatable. Let's face it. So reading through the first part of the description, you'll get a little bit of an inkling of hope. But let's read it, and then we're going to go through everything. Sparkling with the musings of the wizard Mordenkainen, this tome features a host of creatures for use in the Dungeons & Dragons role-playing game. Hailing from every corner of the multiverse, these creatures represent some of the most benevolent and malevolent forces that D&D heroes might face. The book also gathers together fantastical peoples from many different worlds. Each of these peoples represent a race option when you create your D&D character, expanding on the choices in the player's handbook. So again, we read this and it's like, maybe they're going to add some new shit. Maybe it's going to be a whole new book giving us new monsters, new races, new peoples, all kinds of cool stuff. But let's read on. And our hopes are dashed in the next paragraph. Compiling and updating monsters that originally appeared in Volo's Guide to Monsters and Mordenkainen's Tome of Foes, this book presents friends and foes for any D&D campaign, many of them accompanied by the comments of Mordenkainen. The wizard has faced many of these monsters and peoples on numerous wondrous adventures, blah, 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 blah. All right, so what they're doing is taking two books, compiling them into one, and reselling the information to you for the price of, let's look, $49.95. What a bargain. You get to buy two books again for only the price of one.
This is some bullshit.
So let's read what they're actually bringing in. Includes over 250 monsters. Updates to the monsters include making spellcasters easier for dungeon masters to run, giving many monsters more damage and resilience, and improving the organization of the stat blocks themselves. Includes over 30 playable races, brings all the game's setting agnostic races into one book, complementing the races in the player's handbook. A multiverse of lore includes update to monster lore that refocuses the stories on the multiverse rather than any particular world. All right. So, again, this is some bullshit. What are they doing? They're putting all the crap from a couple of books into one book, repackaging it. They're saying adding more resilience. Like, a DM is too stupid to be able to add more hit points or make changes on the fly to a monster to be able to stand up against the party that they're running. They're pulling all the playable races in so that they're all in one book. Once again, rebuying the same material that you had in the past in another book. If you're running from a setting that's not Forgotten Realms, or you want to run in a personal setting or anything else, you can make these adjustments yourself. You don't need the people at Wizards of the Coast to go ahead and put their input in to make it setting agnostic. As a DM and a player, I'm assuming most of you are smart enough to be able to make your characters and your settings agnostic, even pulling in from all these other places and settings that have been created. Let's be absolutely honest here. This is just another desperate money grab from Wizards of the Coast because they need a book on the docket to sell in May so that they bring in some regular revenue. And they're hoping that most of you are dumb enough to spend $49.95 on the same crap that you've already bought before, because they are assuming that you think that you are too stupid to be able to make these adjustments on your own for your personal campaign or for your personal setting. Or even if you're running in another setting and you want to pull something in from a different world setting from their books, that you're going to be like, I can't do that. This says this is from Setting Sun or whatever the fuck, and I'm running Forgotten Realms. I can't do that. I'm not capable of making that change myself. Come the fuck on. This is the biggest pile of bullshit I have ever seen. It is such a pile of money-grubbing desperation for them to have their quarterly revenue hit that it is unbelievable. I'm going to be blunt here. If you feel the need to buy this, do not pay for the hardcover. Go in and buy it online, digital, so at least you're paying less than half the money. Right now they've got a 10% coupon out because they fucked up with doing the same fuzzy dice or whatever it was with your D&D Beyond membership, and you get another 10% off, so you'll get it for like $22, less than half. If you are desperate to have this book because, you are, get it digital. This shit is not worth paying full cover, hardcover price. It's just not. This is just another money grab. It's one of the reasons I absolutely hate Wizards of the Coast. Pathfinder, they always put out a bunch of splat books, but at least most of the stuff they put out and have put out in the past, they're new adventures, new races, new classes, new things to add on to your existing classes to make them more interesting. Wizards is doing nothing to make anything new or anything more interesting. If anything, they're trying to consolidate so it's all in one book. Big fucking deal. That is not a major change. And the fact that this book is probably just going to be reprinted, so they probably felt desperate. They need to reprint this so that with like the Dark Elves, the Drow, now they're not going to have that they're evil and all worship Lolth and all this kind of stuff, which is the actual background of these characters forever. But they want to whitewash everything and make everybody happy, living in Candyland, dancing down the road together characters, instead of admitting that orcs can be evil or are evil. Drow are generally evil. It's the adventurers and the characters that break out of the Underdark because they fight against the bullshit that's down there that makes those characters and NPCs interesting. Now, everything is just a cookie-cutter pile of bullshit, and that's what Wizards has become. In my opinion, I am so fucking close to just quitting playing D&D 5e because it is a giant pile of bullshit. And I know I've said bullshit a lot, but that's what it is. It's a giant pile of bullshit. Here, you agree with me.
This is some bullshit.
See? He agrees with me. This is bullshit. Don't do this. Don't give them your money anymore if they keep putting out these stupid splat books and make changes, and that's their justification for making a new, stupid fucking book. This is ridiculous. Anyway, that's it for today. That's it for my pissed off rant. Let me know what you think down below. Do you agree that this is just a giant, desperate attempt to bring revenue in during a quarter when nobody had any creative ideas whatsoever, which is what I suppose is actually happening because there are no creatives at Wizards of the Coast anymore. They're not. There's no innovation. There's just rehashing the same bullshit over and over again. But let me know what you think. Whether you agree, disagree, you're ambivalent about it, you're just desperate to buy the book, let me know down below. Have an awesome rest of your day. Remember to like and subscribe, hit the bell to get notifications when new videos come up, as well as I'm streaming, and we'll see you next time.